I started photography here in the 1990s with early stage of the Canon 2000. Since the beginning, finally, since the last 35 years, more or less, this is my passion and DNA. Very often during conferences, alongside the year, a lot of people, they see me with a lot of gadgets, which are not really gadgets, but more tools to produce amazing content. I'd like to expose more or less my photography workflow. So, of course, today around me, I've got a lot of things, so it's difficult to share everything. But by the way, ready to be able to button capture. It's all about this type of camera. So where it's a Nikon. So I'm working with Nikon since the last 30 years. And of course, we have a lot of things. We have amazing lenses. It's a budget, of course, but technology-wise, it makes a difference, even if we know that the best camera is maybe the one you have in your pocket. So, and where I use myself and all the team to use very often iPhone. And iPhone today is delivering great contents, and even the latest Android. So I'm using the iPhone 17 Pro Max and also the Pixel 10. But by the way, I'm very more committed to spend the time to play with lights, to play with speed lights, etc. with this type of cameras. Or, of course, it's all about the video. So reason why today, and especially with this camera, which is the ZDR, with a new 28 155 p4z, so a very nice camera to produce cinema. It's compatible with since the acquisition of Red by Nikon, you can produce 8K content with all the profiles, and you can spend a lot of time retouching. But of course, and especially during conferences, during trade shows, we don't have really the time. So reason why, since a couple of time, we have this type of company. I think you know them, DJI and Insta360. Just to give you just amazing things. So 10 years ago, I met this guy at NBR. They just have a small table, nothing, and two Chinese guys. Okay, so very patient, very insightful, etc. 10 years after, the booth of DJI and Insta360 is 3 times, 4 times the booth of Nikon and Canon, all of them. So, and with the team, especially at NAB this year, we get the pleasure to tour these guys. And definitely today, it's just like the Apple, iPhone, etc. They are doing the perfect mix between hardware and software. So, and very often I'm using, of course, DJI. So DJI with the Pocket 4, just arrived this year. It's log for the video content. It's 10-bit, etc. So you can get the pockets, but you can also use what they have this the Action 6, which is very great for sports, etc. And in the meantime, you have the DJI company Insta360, and they are doing some amazing content, just like this Luna. It's a 8K, 12x. Amazing guys. You can do a lot of things. You can control the camera with that remote. So it's just amazing. So of course, sometimes I have to put the question: do I have to shoot with this one or this one? And sometimes my team said I'd rather to shoot with the iPhone because the file is just crazy. So, but by the way, it's very interesting, and definitely these guys, they are doing the perfect mix of software, hardware, etc. It's just very impressive. But one of them, I think many of you saw me here during conferences with this one, which is the X5. So this one is providing, I think, the best 360 video ever. And the X6 is just coming next week. So it's amazing to see, by the way, so you can do more or less everything. This camera can do everything. So, and it's a very immersive experience, etc. So sometimes you see me like this, playing in the room of a conference, but I like it. It's very great things. By the way, of course, sometimes you need to, I will say, to get another point of view. So this one, sometimes the X5 is seen as a killer drone, but sometimes it's good to get the drone. So this one is the Mini 5 Pro. I'm using also the free Mavic Pro, the Neo 2, etc. And just like this guy, and something maybe you saw on this camera, DJI made the acquisition of Hasselblad in Insta, 360 made the acquisition of Leica. So the two main brands ever in the industry, they are now part of a Chinese company. What the hell? What is happening? So, and of course, even if I like my Nikon, etc., because it feels strong, okay, and you have much more capabilities to do some nice portrait, etc. But the software, my goodness, just to transfer this one in between, forget it. You have to use a card, etc. But of course, sometimes something that mobile can do is, especially, I think you saw my picture in last week for the solar eclipse. Is this one? Okay, so it's a 600 millimeter. So of course, as usual, you don't have really the time to envy the capabilities with the iPhone to do everything. And sometimes also it's very used. You saw this one? No, it was not recording. This is the Insta360 Ultra. So this one is very useful wherever you're doing sport, etc. It's just nice 4K. And of course, when you are producing content, especially video, the image is one thing, but the sound is another thing. And of course, and especially our team, we are used to play with the road. So these things are maybe the best thing ever. Even if now DJI Insta360, they are doing some very amazing things, etc. So after years, so you can get some very nice mic that you can put on your things, etc. So all that things by where is more or less all the tools I'm using, not every day, but very often. But something I'd like to say by where it's, you have the contents, but so what you can do with the contents, or, and of course, regarding images and video, it's completely different. So for images, of course, I'm an old guy, so yes, I've got gray hair, so, and so I'm used to play with Photoshop. So since Photoshop 1.0 was 1990. You remember that? No. Okay. So I'm still using with Photoshop every time, but it's true that, and especially my daughter is always saying, "What are you using Photoshop?" Because Canva is doing the same. But yeah, Photoshop is better for professional, but we have also a lot of tools just like Photo Station, Capture One, Photo Mechanic. I like Picto. Picto is a very nice. It's a French company, Sims, where you can see on the screen, etc. Much more advanced, great UI, super fast, AI local, etc. So, by the way, I'm spending the time to index my own images, and I'm producing more or less 2,000 images per month, which means per day, per month, per year. Since the last 40 years, it's nearly 10 millions. But the question now is where we are putting all your images. Of course, you need to secure this content, so it's very important. I'm using two Synology Atom, 156 terabytes and another of 36 terabytes, or it's secure, but if your home is cooking, what's happening? So sometimes you have to save in the cloud. So of course, I've got a lot of selection also in the cloud. But by the way, of course, some of you say, okay, which time you can use? Here, we're agnostic by Activo. So no, I'm using no one of the dam of the market. And we have tons of them, okay? No, I'm using Synology. So Synology is my main DAM system. By the way, it's using ImageMagick, it's using AI local, etc. You have mobile apps, so you can do more or less everything. And with fiber connections or Starlink, etc., it's very common to use. But by the way, everything we are doing, and that you can produce just like any photo agency, can be, by the way, pushed in any of the DAM system. But if you have to choose a DAM system, you know what you have to do. You have to call Activo, because we know the DAM and which one use, and especially you're getting use cases. You want to know much more? It's very simple. We are doing a magazine. Okay, so the magazine Activo, it's in the last 3 years, it's a lot of use cases, and especially this year, and you got over on the 2025 version, but by the way, in this version, you have a lot of things about, from the point and capture, enrichment, indexation to distribution, a lot of things about images, videos, and more or less powered by Activo. And by Activo, we are the only single company who understands how an image is captured on the sensor. So we are thinking. AI does not think. We are thinking for AI in order to work for you the right photography workflow.